Oh, hey, good morning. Welcome. Glad you could stop by today. Jeff here at Fat Boy Farms. Just down here in my garden. Again, it seems like this is where I always am, right? Down here in the garden. Last night, my son-in-law came and helped me get some of these weeded out. As you might remember, this whole section here was full of what I had originally thought was weeds, but a lot of my viewers, thank you, helped me identify it actually as a plant called lamb shank, which is uh, good to eat. And from what I understand, it tastes a lot like spinach. We're actually going to take some. We got soup with it we're going to make today and give it a try. But I'm down here just, cleaning the rest of it up, getting ready to plant some fall plants in here. And if any of you have any suggestions of what I could get planted in here for the fall harvest, I'm here in upstate New York. So I would actually have to go in and look and see what zone that is to see. But uh, if anybody has any ideas what I can plant, I would definitely appreciate the suggestions. Because I've had this whole section, like say, and that has just been empty the whole time. So I want to definitely try to get it used this year. Sorry, I just happened to see some bees here on this plant doing some pollinating. Not quite sure what kind of squash plant that is. I'm hoping it's a butternut squash. It's just a volunteer plant, so I'm not really sure, but I'm thinking that's what it is based on uh, what I'm seeing growing. I do have some sweet potatoes here, which I've never grown before, so I really don't know how they work either. Uh, they are actually a, quite they're a vine by the looks of it. So I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to get any sweet potatoes or not because uh, they're still quite small and they've been buried in my weeds. So just like my sweet potatoes being buried in the weeds all this time, they haven't really grown that well. Not that I know what they're supposed to look like, but they haven't grown all that well. Uh, they're still quite small. I don't know whether sweet potatoes grow on top of the ground or in the ground, but they've been inundated by weeds, so they haven't got the sun that they haven't got the nutrients probably that they've needed all this time. It's kind of like our soul, right? In our life. I mean, we have to watch, um, what we put in our life, the people that we hang out with, what we watch on TV, what we watch on our phone, what we do on the computer. The sins in your life that you need to get rid of, the things in your life that you need to get rid of to be more productive. Uh, I've watched a couple of other YouTube videos where people are just trying to, you know, I guess take things out of their life that they no longer need. And I've been kind of trying to do the same thing. I had a game that I would play on the phone here, for my memory, for to help keep my brain active, I guess. But um, I found that I was spending a lot of time playing that game instead of doing other things that were much more productive. And there's probably things in your life that are causing you to do the same thing. Um, so, you know, hence, maybe stuff that I was doing in my life was not down here in my garden helping my garden keep. Well, it was just I wasn't down here in the garden. I wasn't doing other important things in my life. I was too hung up like playing the game. Um, there's other things in your life that you have to be careful of. You have to take those who weed out your soul. I don't know what that is. Could be for you. Could be, your phone. Could be watching too much TV. It could be you're on the computer too much. It could be, you know, that you're going to the bar. You could be, smoking, or could be, pornography or whatever. I don't know what the weeds that you might have in your life are, but I need to keep the weeds in my life down, just like I need to keep the weeds in my garden down so that I have a bountiful harvest. and you want to have a good life. So you need to keep those weeds down and cleaned up. But anyway, as you can tell, my garden is definitely grown. I have a forest of tomatoes here that really need to get thinned out. And over here, I have a sea of green. Much of what you see, I believe, is all spaghetti squash. So it has overtaken everything over there. So I need to get that cleaned out and see if I can find my Brussels sprouts and my cantaloupe and my acorn squash that's in there somewhere. Uh, but it's just something that you need to do, and you need to do it all the time. And I need to be more vigilant about keeping my garden weeded. It's just with life, a lot of times life takes over, doesn't it? And we don't get to what we need to do as often as we should. Anyway, just my thoughts for the day. And I, would appreciate any suggestions that you might have for me to plant here in the garden for my fall harvest. The bees are over here on this squash plant, which I hope is a butternut squash, doing their pollinating thing. Thanks for stopping by today. Happy gardening, everybody.